Hey everyone, it's Quad again, bringing you yet another 1 vs 1 pro replay, and this time it will be between WhiteRa and Naama. WhiteRa, of course, everyone still calls him by his original Brood War name, WhiteRa, and just mainly because of that, and because that's what I've heard him called by everyone else. That is what I will be calling throughout the rest of the replay. And I must say, WhiteRa is definitely one of my personal favorite players. Whenever I can catch his stream, I'll watch that. He's just amazingly good. I don't know. I don't think there's really anyone that's quite like him. Yes, there are some players who beat him or maybe better than him, if like in the strict sense of the word. But he's just awesome. He's just like the nicest guy. He's from the Ukraine, and he's probably one of the most mannered players ever. If you've seen his stream, or if you've even browsed a StarCraft Reddit or any other place, you've probably seen the pictures. You've probably seen the chat logs or whatever. And WhiteRa's just awesome. If you don't like him, there's something wrong with you. Anyways, Naama over here, I actually do not know too much about him. I just know that he has been around for quite a while. I don't really know. Yeah, like I don't know if he streams or not, so I can't recommend that to you if he does. But other than that, I really just don't know too much about him. But I do know he is playing Terran, and he's playing against WhiteRa. And being that the colors aren't blue and red, respectively, I would assume this is a custom game, as fairly sure the latter will always choose red for, I think, is Team 1 and then blue for Team 2. I'm not sure. Could be the other way around, or the colors could just be random. So anyway, we do see gas being taken for Naama, so it will not be any sort of one rack expand, or one naked rack expand, I should say. You can still drop a tech lab, make a marauder after this marine is finished, and then expand after that, which is quite prominent and quite popular. And for WhiteRa, he is doing the standard opening, gas, or gateway gas core, I should say. I was almost going to say in the wrong order there, but Zealot is coming out, and a partial wall coming for Naama. Just supply depot. I'm not so sure if I like that. I don't like putting, or at least when I play Terran, I don't like putting supply depots at the front of my wall, because they're quite easy to bust through, especially if you're playing against a Zerg, or if you're playing against Protoss even. They can just use the Stalkers to outrange Marines if they're behind the wall, and just take them down, and then boom, you're behind another 100, 200 resources. So, but it seems like a bunker actually might go down, as there is a factory here. No second gas yet, so I don't expect Banshees, or at the very least I don't expect Cloak to be coming out. And the Reaper is coming out of this Tech Lab bunker, or Tech Lab barracks, excuse me. And so this will get some scouting. I might get a few kills on on some probes, as we do see Zell is moving forward with the probe. I don't think there's going to be any sort of 4-gate coming on. There is a second gateway coming down, and Stalker just did finish, which will be joining. So it looks like there will be little one Stalker, one Zealot pressure here on the Terran. But will not do anything, as the bunker has already completed, and Terran will just be able to, or Naama will be able to just repair this till Kingdom Come, pretty much. And no add-on yet on the factory, no starport yet, so will be a 1 barracks and then 1 factory expansion. That's something I've actually never seen. WhiteRa will move to the ramp to see the bunker and will back out, and I think this should probably get some reaction from WhiteRa. I would expect to see a robotics facility go down at some point. Just WhiteRa has to know that the possibility of Banshees are coming in once you see that barracks and a wall or bunker and wall off by the Terran. So this Reaper does get 1 probe kill, does kill off a sentry, which is just amazing. It's another 100 gas on the Reaper's worth, and actually this Reaper might even get the Zealot. If this does, this Reaper is going to be a hero Reaper taking on Hunan, but the Stalker will come in, save the Zealot. The Zealot, just at about half health, will survive, thank his buddy the Stalker, and then go on right back to the Watchtower to hold it down. So the robotics fleet does come down. I think this might be a bit late. I'm not sure if WhiteRa actually saw anything else when he quickly poked up the ramp. But I don't know, if Cloak Banshees would come out, they'd be coming out just in the next 20-30 seconds, I think, and WhiteRa would not have an observer at that time, and would be quite dangerous for him. But lucky for him, his opponent Naama is opting for tanks and marines. It looks like he is abandoning that tech lab, so some other building will be going down to make use of that tech lab. Would assume another factory or starport, perhaps, maybe delayed Banshees, and yes, it will be a starport. So Banshees will come in with still the possibility of cloak, as the gas is, while not exactly very high, it is starting to bank up there. As another tank does come out and siege check does finish. So Naama will most likely be moving out to secure this expansion, and meanwhile WhiteRa is staying on 3 gateways. His expansion has just finished just before Naama's, excuse me, is lifted off and moves down to land at the natural expansion of himself. And actually, it is 4 gateways, and 1 observer is out, which will make its way, or start to make its way across the map, to just figure out what is coming out from Naama. No other tech yet for WhiteRa, no forward for early upgrades, so I would only assume that he's just going to or just continue to chrono boost probes, excuse me. But there is a Twilight Council going down, so that will be interesting. I don't think Dark Templars would come out because it is much too late for those this early on in the game to actually do anything. I feel the Dark Templars would have had to come out would have had to been made just about now or a little bit earlier. So we do have a Warp Prism being made, so WhiteRa, I know, he actually loves his Warp Prism. If you saw the Korea versus the World GSL finals, or whatever it was called, WhiteRa did manage to beat MC, widely considered to be one of the best players in the world with that Warp Prism, so this will be interesting to see just how much it actually does do. And Warp Prism moving here will pick up a couple Zealots, I think. Yeah, 4 Zealots are going in, and will most likely do some sort of a SCV harass. Meanwhile, Naama is just about finished his cloaking field upgrade for his Banshees. Is this the first Banshee to be popping out? Checking out the units tab. Yes, this is the first Banshee, so it will head on over to WhiteRa's base, and Cloak will probably finish just as it arrives. So great timing by there. And the Banshee will pass right by this Warp Prism, so both of each other, or both WhiteRa and Naama, are well aware of what will be happening. Marines and Marauder, just the single one, will be moving up to deny this Warp Prism any harassment. Might even snipe it, but no, it does make its way past, and scuttles away just in time. Banshee will be going into the mineral line here. 4 Stalkers are here, but there's no observers. Oh no, Observer just pops out now. Arrives perfectly in time, and this Banshee will go down with, I don't even think that was a single probe kill, maybe 1 or 2. But anyways, WhiteRa is getting Blink and getting his +1 weapons. Actually, that's actually one thing I would like to note. Normally you see a Protoss getting the +1 armor against Terran first, because they're going of Marines and Marauders, and the Zealot armor is amazing once it gets up to that +2 or +3 armor, and as the Marines just do almost no damage, and same with the Marauders, especially coupled with that Guardian shield. But WhiteRa is aware that tanks are out. He did scout with 1 observer, which he got picked off, I think, by one of these missile turrets. Yes, you can see it here. And the +1 armor really actually doesn't help too much once the siege tank is shooting your Zealots for, what, 35 damage? It's, oh look, I reduced the damage by 1. No, that's not helpful at all. Anyways, the Zealots do come in from this Warp Prism and take out a few SCVs. I'm not sure how many the siege tanks do friendly fire, but injure quite a few, and actually that's 2 SCVs at 1 health apiece, and don't quite actually kill too many off. It wasn't actually worth it. And we do see actually more Stalkers being, not sure if they were warped in from this Warp Prism or just walked around, but they will be picking off these supply depots here. Both players are actually taking their third. WhiteRa's third has just been started, while Naama's has already been finished and is morphing into a command center. We'll be interested to see which position he does opt to take, if he goes for the gold expansion, or if he does go for the low yield minerals here. So, but anyways, back to the tech. Naama has actually taken another starport with the tech lab, so we will be continuing to make Banshees. 1 Viking actually being made to deter any more Warp Prisms. he does. Naama does know that the Warp Prism is still alive, but does not know that it is sitting over here, doing actually not too much. Yeah. Meanwhile, WhiteRa has been still getting upgrades, not quite getting a +2. It just started shortly before, and Colossus are starting to be chrono boosted out. There are already 2 on the field. Thermal Lance, I believe, is done. Yes, Thermal Lance is already done, and no charges going down yet for the Zealots. So 2 Banshees are patrolling the area, seeing if they can actually do anything. Meanwhile, WhiteRa is patrolling around with his Blink Stalkers, seeking to pick off any of those. They will grab this Marine and deny it scouting of the 3rd base, which 1 cannon is warped in at this high round to prevent any sort of drops up there, which can be quite problematic if you don't have vision of that, as cannon will not shoot up there unless you have an observer or some sort of building. Banshees will go through, fly right by this 1 cannon, take a little bit of hull damage, and as